Welcome to the session. Today I am here to explain the second technique to find minimal spanning tree, that is Kruskal's algorithm. So in the last session we have discussed about Prim's algorithm for finding minimal spanning tree. So in this session we are discussing about Kruskal's algorithm to find minimal spanning tree. So let us recall what is minimal spanning tree. The spanning tree can be defined as minimum number of edges is used to connect all the vertices in the graph. So minimal spanning tree means for a weighted graph, while selecting the edges, we want to identify minimum cost edges. Okay, so what is Kruskal's algorithm? So the Prim's algorithm is based on the starting point. With respect to starting point, we are selecting minimum edge at each and every vertex. But here it is a vertex based, means starting vertex. So there the starting vertex, connecting edges, we are selecting minimum edge. We are selecting minimum edge. But in the Kruskal's algorithm, based on the edge set, so the set of edges are there. So based on the edges set, one by one we are selecting the minimum edge, irrespective of the vertices. Irrespective of the vertices. That's why Kruskal's algorithm can be called as edge based. So Kruskal's algorithm is used to Kruskal's algorithm. So Kruskal's algorithm is used to find the minimal spanning tree. Minimal spanning tree means MST, and the algorithm aims to find a subset of the edges. So we know that a graph can be represented as mathematically like this: G is equal to V comma E. V is nothing but set of vertices, E is nothing but set of edges. So say for example 5 vertices are there, 10 edges are there. To connect the 5 vertices, 4 edges are enough. So the 4 edges are subset to this set. That's why subset of the edges that forms a tree that includes every vertex. That includes every vertex. Next, the total weight of all the edges is tree should be minimized. I already told that for this we want to take weighted graph. So thereby we are selecting the minimum weights. So at last it refers to some weight, some cost. The cost should be minimized. So that's why the total weight of all the edges in the tree should be minimized. And however, if the graph is not connected, then it finds a minimum spanning forest. Means the graph is a disconnected one, means all the vertices are not forming a one component. A graph can be defined as a set of components. At the time we are finding that minimal spanning tree forest. Means for each and every component we are finding one spanning tree. For each and every graph we are finding one spanning tree. So a set of trees is nothing but forest. So that's why here we are told that a minimum spanning forest. We are finding that when it is not a connected graph. Next, note that the forest of collection of trees. Similarly, a minimal spanning tree forest is a collection of minimal spanning trees. So a minimal spanning tree forest is nothing but collection of minimal spanning trees. So Kruskal's algorithm is an example for greedy algorithm. Means that here also we need to find out feasible solution sets. Feasible solution sets is nothing but to connect all the vertices in the graph by selecting minimum edges. So when we are selecting the minimum edges, we are getting a feasible solution set. In that, we are getting only one optimal solution. The optimal solution gives minimum cost. The same kind of concept we are explained in the last class also. Prim's algorithm also follows the greedy strategy. Right? So, as it makes the local optimal choice at each stage with the hope of the finding global optimum. So for each and every minimal spanning tree, initially we want to find out the local optimum. At last, we are finding the global optimum also. Global optimum also. Say this is an example. In this example, so totally 6 vertices are there. So A is a one vertex, B, C, D, E, F. Right? So totally 6 vertices are there. And how many edges are there? A comma D is a one edge. A comma D is an edge. E comma F is an edge. E comma F is an edge. So C comma E is an edge. Like that. So 3, 6 plus 9 edges are there. Totally 9 edges. So this is a one edge, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So totally 9 edges. So this is a vertices set, this is the edges set. So from this edges set, we want to select one by one minimum cost edge. One by one minimum cost edge. Say, so first remove the edge A comma D from Q and make the following changes. A comma D. So why we are selecting A comma D? Means comparatively all the weights of edges, one is the minimum cost edge. One is the minimum cost edge. So that's why first we are selecting minimum cost edge, that is 1. So that's why we are selecting 1. So we are adding A comma D edge to minimal spanning tree set. Minimal spanning tree set. Right? So there, so A comma D means present A comma D is a one component. The remaining B, C, E, F are the remaining components. So in previous we got 6 vertices, 6 different components. Right now A comma D is a one component and remaining 4 are another components. Next we are going to step 2. So next step 2, remove the edge E comma F. Why we are selecting E comma F? Means the next minimum cost edge is 2. So with help of E comma F, first make the components. E comma F is a one component, A comma D is a one component, other than this B, C. Means right now 4 different components. Right now 4 different components. So here A comma D, E comma F we are adding into minimal spanning tree set. Minimal spanning tree set. Right? So the next, in the third one, we are selecting C comma E. So C comma E is the next minimum cost edge. Say 3. So doing the same thing. So whenever we are selecting C comma E, C, E, F. C is already one component, E comma F is a one component. When we are mapping these two, so the resultant component is C, E, F. B is a one component, A comma D is a one component. So we are adding A comma D, C comma E, E comma F into minimal spanning tree set. Next, E comma D. So E comma D is the next minimum cost edge. 4. Next minimum cost edge. So thereby, so what happens is A, C, D, E, F is a one component. B is only the another component. Means right now 2 subgraphs. 2 subgraphs. So here A comma D, C comma E, E comma F, E comma D is also added. Next we want to select one more edge. So C comma D means whenever we are selecting this edge. So C comma D edge is selected. So already we are selected EC and ED means it is a cycle. It's a cycle. So minimal spanning tree condition is whenever we are selected one edge, based on that edge, cycle should not be formed. So that's why C comma D from Q. So note that the edge does not connect to different trees. So simply discard the edge. Only an edge connecting with ADCEF B will be added to the MST. So the same ACDEF common D is another component. So no other edges are added in this step. Next, D comma F. So D comma F means this edge. Here also cost is 5, but it doesn't connect B. It doesn't connect B. Right now we want to select or we want to add B vertex. We want to add B vertex. So here, and one more thing is, whenever we E comma F already selected, E comma D is selected, when we are selected FD, again it forms a cycle. Again it forms a cycle. So that's why same, whenever you consider this, note that this does not connect different trees. So simply discard this edge and again the status is same. Same means A, D, C, E, F is a one component, B is a another component. So here also no change. Next minimum edge. So A comma C. So whenever we are considering A comma C, again it doesn't form a new tree. See, here very simple observation is, we need to add B vertex to this. So B is only one component. So we want to see either BF or BE or BD or BC or BA. Right. So this is also simply discarded. So no change. No change. Next. Finally, whenever we are selecting A comma B, yes, A comma B we are selected, A comma B is selected, so make the following changes. So it makes one particular component, means A, B, C, D, E, F. Right. So the final minimal spanning tree is this one. So first we are consider AD, so this one. Next we are consider CE, so this one. Next we are consider EF, so this one. The next we are consider ED, this one. The next we are consider AB, so this one. So the total cost of this minimal spanning tree is 7 plus 1 plus 3 plus 4 plus 2. So how many distances are there? 5 distances. Means we have selected 5 edges. So to connect 6 different vertices, we want 5 edges. N vertices and minus 1 edges. So the total cost is 11 plus 4, 15 plus 2, 17. The distance is 17. So this is Kruskal's algorithm. So the Kruskal's algorithm is purely edge based. Means each and every time we want to find one minimum cost edge. With that edge, we are forming a new tree or not. If it is a new tree, the edge is considered. If it is not a new tree, the edge is not considered. Next, this is the next concept, Dijkstra's algorithm. Dijkstra's algorithm. So, what is the need of this algorithm? So, here, based on the graphs, we need to find two kinds of ones. One is minimal spanning tree, another one is shortest paths. So at the beginning of introduction, while connecting the telephone lines, or while making the tracks, or while connecting the different kinds of networks, we need to find out what is the shortest distance in between two different nodes. So here two kinds of algorithms are there. So one kind of algorithm is single source shortest path algorithms. Single source shortest path algorithm. Another one is all pair shortest path algorithm. Another one is all pair shortest path algorithm. So the Dijkstra's is a one kind of single source shortest path algorithm. All pair shortest path algorithm is the next upcoming concept, that is Warshall's algorithm. Sometimes this is called Floyd's algorithm also. So what is the difference in between single source and all pair? Say, by taking an example, A, B, C, D. So this is a graph. This is a graph. So like that, here some distance are there. Right. So single source shortest path means I am entered A. Say our source is A. Okay. So what is the shortest distance from A to B? What is the shortest distance from A to C? What is the shortest distance from A to D? That's the means of single source shortest path algorithm. Single source shortest path algorithm. All pair shortest path algorithm means one time we want to take A, another time we want to take B. So we need to find out what is the shortest path, B to C, B to D, B to A also. Similarly, C to A, C to B, C to D also. Similarly, D to A, D to B, D to C also. So for each and every combination we need to find out what is the shortest distance. That is the mean of all pair shortest path algorithm. So first we will see the Dijkstra's algorithm is used to find the length of an optimal path between the two nodes in a graph. Two nodes are nothing but vertices, say A, B or A, D, like that. So the term optimal can mean anything: shortest, cheapest or fastest. Okay, so based on the distance we are called as shortest path. Based on the cost we are mentioning that cheapest cost. Or based on the data rate or transmission, fastest path. So if we start the algorithm with an initial node, then the distance of a node Y can be given as distance from the initial node to that node. So here we are called as initial node. The initial node is nothing but source. The initial node is nothing but source. Means we are called as single source shortest path. So the source also given by the user. The source also given by the user. So this is a small example to find how to find out the single source shortest path algorithm. How to find out single source shortest path algorithm. Say, consider, so this is an example. Consider the graph given, taking D as the initial node, execute the Dijkstra's algorithm on it. Means they are entered single source. Means the starting vertex is D. So at last we need to find out what is the shortest distance from D to A, what is the shortest distance from D to B, what is the shortest distance from D to C, like that D to F, D to Z and D to F, D to E also. Alright, so what is the algorithm? So set the label D equal to 0. It's an algorithm process. First, set the label of D equal to 0. means that this is called as starting vertex. That's why we'll make it as 0. Label D 0. So B is equal to 15, G is equal to 23 and F is equal to 5. What it means? So the D to B shortest distance is B. Sir, 15. To reach B, present shortest distance is 15. To reach G, the shortest distance is 23. To reach F, the shortest distance is 5. Means direct edges. So D to B is an edge, D to G is an edge, D to F is an edge. That's why we are told that. So 15, 23, 5. So thereby N is equal to D comma F. Why we are selecting D comma F means the F refers to shortest distance. By considering these three distances, 15, 23, 5, the shortest distance is 5. That's why we are selecting a edge D comma F. D comma F. Next, so D becomes 0. Next, B becomes 15. B becomes 15. And G has been labeled as 18 because of minimum 5 plus 13 comma 23. How we are getting 5 plus 23? Right. So here to reach G, so 5 plus 13. So 5 plus 13 means 18. So here distance is 23. So to reach G, the shortest distance is 18. Means currently F is visited. Currently F is visited. So first we are visited D, later we are visited F. So F to G one path, F to C is a one path. So F to C also 9 plus 5, 14 is the shortest distance. So that's why for reach C, 14 is the shortest distance. So thereby we are applying, so D, F, C. Means D to F we are consider and D to C also next we are consider, this is the shortest distance. Why? Because we are getting two paths. One is 5 plus 13, 18 is a one distance. 5 plus 9, 14 is the one distance. By considering these two, the shortest one is 14. That's why we are selecting that C is the next visited vertex. Right. So next we need to do the similar kind of exercise. So is there any paths from C to something? No. So here C, F also reaches to C, A also reaches to C. Means this is a blocking point. So we need to check again back from F and we need to select the next one is G. That's why here we are mentioned G is 18. That's why we are mentioned 18. How we are getting 18? 5 plus 13, 18. And here 15. D to B is 15. So here we want to consider for both. That's why here B is selecting now. So till now we are visited D, after that F, after that C, after that B. So when we are moving to B, why? Because the B shortest distance is 15. So is there any chance to move? So B to A you can move. So the B to A shortest distance is 15 plus 4, 19. So that's why in the next iteration we are considering 19. Here the shortest distance 5 plus 13, 18, G. So comparatively 19 and 18, the shortest distance is 18. So that's why we are adding G here. That's why we are adding G here. Right. So next, G2, is there any alternate paths? No paths. G2, no paths. So next we are moving to A. That's why we are adding A. That's why we are adding A. So in this way we are selecting. So from A to you can again reach to C. So what is the distance? 15 plus 4, 19, 19 plus 2, 21. But what is the shortest distance we got? 14. So these are the finally selected edges. So D to D shortest distance is 0. D to F shortest distance is 5. D to C what is the shortest distance is 14. D to B what is the shortest distance is 15. D to G what is the shortest distance is 18. D to A what is the shortest distance is 19. So we have not visited once. We have not visited E. Why? Because there is no direct path from D to E. So D to B's path is there, but B to E no path. D to G path is there, but G to E no path. So that's why the shortest distance from D to E is infinity. Infinity. Okay, but for remaining all the destinations F, G, B, A, C, we are finding. So this is the way to find out shortest distance from starting vertex. Shortest distance from starting vertex. So here what we did is each and every time we are selecting one minimum cost edge. Minimum cost edge. But the distance is calculated from source vertex only. From source vertex. So what is the time complexity of this algorithm is big O of V square. Big O of V square. Right? So finally, what makes the difference in between Dijkstra's algorithm and minimal spanning tree? What makes the difference? So we already seen two different algorithms for minimal spanning tree. One is for Prim's and another one is for Krishkal. Right? And Dijkstra's is used for single source shortest path algorithm. When we are comparing these two, I think similarities are there. So what is the dissimilarity we have to see right now? Right. So in the minimal spanning tree algorithm is used to traverse a graph in the most efficient manner, but Dijkstra's algorithm calculates the distance from a given vertex to every other vertex in the graph. So the minimal spanning tree objective is to connect all the vertices in the graph with minimum cost edge. But Dijkstra's refers to shortest path from particular vertex, source vertex to the corresponding vertex. And the objective is we need to find out shortest distance from other vertices. Next, the Dijkstra's algorithm is very similar to Prim's algorithm. So in the Prim's algorithm case also we are passing starting vertex. Each and every time we are selecting one minimum cost edge with reference to vertex. There we are identifying that fringe vertices. Okay, so some similarity is there, but both the algorithms are begin at a specific node and extended outward within the graph until all other nodes in the graph have been reached. Prim's algorithm also starting from one vertex only. So single source shortest path algorithm. Dijkstra's algorithm also starting from single vertex only. Right. So the point where these algorithms are differ is that Prim's algorithm stores a minimum cost edge. Dijkstra's algorithm stores the total cost from the source node, that current node. This is a very, very important point, and this only the difference in between Prim's algorithm and Dijkstra's algorithm. In case of Prim's algorithm, we are selecting minimum cost edge. The cost is associated to the particular edge only single edge. But in the Dijkstra's algorithm, we are calculating the distance. The distance refers to from source vertex to the particular vertex. Right. So by comparison, the minimum cost, so here edge base, here from path base. Means source vertex to corresponding vertex distance we are selecting. And moreover, so Distrauss algorithm is used to store the summarization of minimum cost edges, while Prim's algorithm stores the most one minimum cost edge. Most one minimum cost edge. So this is the difference in between Prim's algorithm and Distrauss algorithm. Prim's algorithm and Distrauss algorithm. So finally we are going to summary. So in this session we have discussed minimal spanning tree. So how to find out the minimal spanning tree? By using Kruskal's algorithm. By using Kruskal's algorithm. So the Kruskal's algorithm initially forms the edge set. Each and every time it's selecting one minimum cost edge. So like that, it forms a new tree or not. So it doesn't form any new tree. So it doesn't consider vertex. Like that, the process is going on until we are getting a tree where all the vertices are connected or not. So that is the Kruskal's algorithm. And second one is we are introduced single source. So single source shortest path algorithm. Single source shortest path algorithm. Nothing but Distrauss algorithm. Nothing but Distrauss algorithm. So the Distrauss algorithm we see, and finally what makes the difference in between minimal spanning tree and Distrauss algorithm also we have verified. So in the next class we are discussing about all-page shortest path algorithm. In another terms you can call it as Floyd-Warshall algorithm also. The same kind of concept you are getting in Mathematical Foundations for Computer Science subject also, nothing but MSCS. There you are finding trans to closure. There you are finding trans to closure. Thank you.